So how'd you feel the next morning?
You know what? I felt pretty good. I didn't feel bad at all.
Really?
You're like a giant man child.
Welcome to Cue the Mic. I'm Darren Worth.
And I'm the Roto-Rooter, Randy Twyford.
The Roto-Rooter.
Oh, jeez. And I'm a Durflinger, and this is episode 86.
86. People thought we were 86 in this episode since we're recording a little late.
Yeah, that was
But
a couple comments I got.
I didn't think I was going to make it, but we did.
I was worried about you.
Make it, yep. And I'm not sure why we're late doing this episode. I was in town all weekend. I'm not
Well,
sure
that's
why
what
we
I
didn't
thought.
get around to it yet.
Did you do much? Was that your cousin that cooked that contest out in Vegas?
Yeah, my cousin was out there.
Son
Did
of a
you see he
bitch!
posted
Why do
on
you let him
Facebook
use your name? And he every time he goes out there, he doesn't or goes under your name. He doesn't do worth a shit. So I don't know why you're letting him use your name.
It just happens, Randy.
It
Once
happen-
in a
I
while, it
understand.
just happens.
I understand. So
You want people to just know you're real,
yeah,
right? Invincible
right.
or vincible.
Invincible or invincible, one of the two.
Yeah, I don't know what happened in Vegas this week. Who knows? Who cares?
Well, that's true.
Randy, where did you see the...
Did you have a good time?
Yeah,
Okay,
we had a good time.
that's all that counts. That's all that counts.
Yep, we had a good time. I probably
That's
had,
all that counts.
I went into Vegas with I didn't even have a cooker to cook on until about 1:00 Friday afternoon.
Okay.
So there was a guy that was going to bring me a cooker. We kind of had it half-assed lined out about a month ago. And Sherry kept going, "You got a cooker lined up? You got a cooker lined up?" Yeah, I think so. I'll find one. No big deal. And so I asked around and I said, "Hey, is Levi around?" And everybody's like, "Oh, no, he's not coming." I'm like, "Oh, really?" Sherry's like, "Oh, what are you going to do now?" I said, "I'll find something." "Well, what are you going to do if you don't find something?" I said, "Well, Bass Pro Shop's right there. I'll go buy a damn Weber grill and cook the contest. Don't worry
That's
about
what
it."
I was thinking.
Right? Smokers, I'll find something.
They'll probably have a
cares?
barrel smoker at Bass Pro.
And so I'm setting up my table and people are coming around and they're going, "Where's your cooker?" And I'm like, "I don't have one. I'll find one." Right? And so they're like, "Well, I suppose I could loan you one of mine." I'm like, "I'll figure it out. No big deal." And so I'm going down, right? It's about lunchtime and I'm going down and talking to the Texas boys and they're going, "Well, what are you cooking on?" I said, "I don't know." And I'm like, "What do you mean you don't know?" And I said, "A guy was supposed to be bringing me a cooker, didn't show up. So I'm not sure." And he's like, "Well, I got an extra can sitting here. Do you want it?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'll take it." It was a Quattro D can. Quattro D.
Never heard of those.
And me neither. Me neither. But, like I told everybody, it's just fire and meat, right?
Yeah. Did it
Part
seem
of-
to
part
cook
of
the
the
same as the gateways and all those?
It looked exactly like a gateway. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, it cooks just like a gateway." And I'm like, "Okay, fine. Bring it on down." He threw it in the back of his truck and gained it all down. So I had a very intricate setup.
Right. I saw that photo of it.
I had a 4-foot table and I had a Cambro and I had a cooker. And they wouldn't let me put the they wouldn't let me put the can on the asphalt because I didn't have bricks to hold it up and it didn't have wheels on it. So I had to put it, I didn't even have table leg extensions for my table.
Oh, boy.
Luckily, I was on the end by a curb. So I was able to put my table up on the curb and it worked perfectly.
Oh,
So I
there
put
you
my
go.
can up on the curb too. And so it worked great. And so, I lit the thing normal time up in the morning and it had a big old fireball in the middle of it. And so I put the lid on it, and I lit about 5 o'clock in the morning and thought I'd get the meat on about 6 o'clock. And that some bitch just was not coming to temperature. I put 2 water pans in it. That's the way I'd planned to cook. And it got to be about 5:45, and this sucker's not coming to temperature. And so I opened it up, and there's no fire in it, but there's no fire in the top, but there's a fire in the bottom. And I didn't quite understand this thing. So I'm like, well, I guess I better get rid of these water pans. Maybe that's doing something. So I got rid of both water pans. Finally, about 6:15, I got this thing to come up to temp. So I put my brisket and pork on, and I just had a kind of a normal cook. Got the brisket and pork on, and I probably only should have cooked 3 pork butts. I cooked 4. I had to kind of jam shit in there, and then I got time for ribs. So I was able to put 2 racks of ribs in, and we got through the whole cook. Everything worked fine. I was actually very happy. Sherry even said, "Wow, that was a pretty good cook." When we got done, and I thought my ribs my chicken was okay.
Right.
It was just okay. It wasn't super juicy. We just cooked wings. They weren't super juicy, okay. But they were, but they taste, I just refuse to inject shit, wings and shit. And so they tasted like chicken. They were moist and they were tender, but they weren't like bite into juicy whatever. My ribs were really decent. I thought my pork was probably the best thing I turned in all day.
Right.
And then my brisket was really decent, except for it had no beef flavor at all to it. Really? I actually took a bite of it, and I never do that. But I took a bite of the brisket, and I'm like, this tastes like nothing. And considering the some bitch was half rotten when I took it, when I trimmed Jesus it, Christ. Like 6 days earlier.
Right.
It was so bad that when I was trimming it at home, it had been aged 3 weeks prior to the jack. So it had, I'd put it in the refrigerator in the last week in September.
Oh my.
No, when was the jack? Middle of October?
Randy, they're still there?
This is the solar power people.
Jesus Christ.
And they're working right outside my office.
Clearly.
I thought you had gas.
It's just I'm never home by myself anymore. Roto-Rooter, solar people.
God. Sorry, Dina, continue.
About the no-taste brisket.
Yeah, well, rotten.
So I'm turning this brisket, and there's zero taste. And I got my brisket out on the table, sliced. I got au jus on it. I got sauce on it, and I'm like, there's no taste. Well, I got Tim from Shake and Bakes, like 2 doors down from me, and he had this most beautiful brisket in the world. Even the day before, Brad's over there from Getting Based. He's like, look at Tim's brisket. And he just had this most beautiful brisket. And he's like, Tim's going to get first place in brisket. I guarantee you. So anyway, I go over to Tim at the last minute. We're turning in brisket. We got like 4 minutes to go. And I'm like, Tim, I need something beefy flavored put on my brisket. I said, mine has no flavor. He goes, here, take some beef injection powder and put on there, beef marinade. I'm like, okay, fine. Mm-hmm. So I grabbed his bottle of beef marinade. I just shook it all over my brisket and turned it in. And evidently that made it taste like beef flavor because got a 180 in brisket.
Yeah. How did Tim do?
Sure, he goes. He got first in brisket.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Only because he's like, I think I need some black pepper. And I said, I got some black pepper. So we got the pepper grinder out and just pepper ground the shit out of his brisket. So I take 100% credit for his brisket, even though he really had a beautiful brisket and he should have got 180, or he should have got a perfect brisket. But
right.
So
But at the end of the day, I think we got 24th in ribs, and we got murdered in chicken and pork. Murdered. And I'm not sure. They hated our taste in chicken and pork. They hated it. Just absolutely hated it. And I don't know why. They just hated it.
Because you had enough other people back from the Midwest cooking there that it would have been the same flavor profile, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, my ribs and pork probably tasted about the same, but I mean, they hated it. I mean, or they thought they were in Vegas because instead of having 9s, I got more 7s on that scorecard on chicken.
There
I mean,
you
it
go.
was 7,
That was
7,
it.
7, 7.
There you go.
I mean, they murdered the shit out of it, but you know what? I really didn't give a shit.
As long as you had a
That's
good
not the
time.
real reason you were there.
Oh, we went out. We had a good time. We went gambling on Wednesday night, which I never gamble. I really don't even like to gamble. But instead of sitting there and just watching people gamble, I gambled. So
What'd you
Win
play?
anything?
Oh, hell no. Blackjack.
Blackjack.
Did you
No,
lose?
I
Did you at least break
successfully
even?
lost. I successfully lost $300. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. I'm not a gambler, and so.
Right.
But it was fun. We sat. A bunch of us sat all at the same table, so it was a lot of fun.
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yeah.
glad to see Harlan did pretty well out there. It's good to see his name out
Harlan
there.
did pretty good.
Haven't heard from him for a long time. I always liked Harlan.
Yeah. Harlan, we got to see. We didn't get to see too many people actually. For some reason, just seems like the weekend was a whirlwind.
Right.
My schedule is like way off, and when you're in Vegas and you're hanging out with a bunch of friends, you don't seem to follow your Darren schedule, right? Get up in the morning at 6:00 in the morning and eat breakfast,
Yeah.
and that doesn't seem to happen
When
in
in
Vegas. So ended up staying up later than I wanted to stay up, and
Right.
getting up later than I wanted to, and meal times weren't Darren meal times, and just all clusterfucked. But in the end, Saturday was a long day. I got up at 4:00 in the morning, lit the pit. We cooked the contest. After the contest got done, went back to the hotel, which was really in the parking lot of where we cooked the contest. Got all ready, and I had bought Sherry tickets to go see George Strait in concert. So we got to go see Little Big Town and George Strait and Chris Stapleton.
Pretty good show
At Allegiant Stadium. So, we got Sherry's cowboy boots on and got our matching outfits.
Did you guys wear your mat? Okay.
Oh yeah, we got matching outfits. And,
Is there a photo? Did Sherry post one by chance?
I don't know. We got matching photo too somewhere. I don't know.
I'm gonna go look.
So anyway, but what was funny, what was nice was we thought, well, we'll just catch an Uber to the concert. So we caught an Uber, and we were early enough. Concert didn't start till 5:45, and we got there about 4:30. Thought we'd beat the crowd,
right?
Which we did. And luckily, I had bought these tickets that were in a club section.
Okay.
And so we had kind of our own bar and bathroom.
Oh, really?
From the general public.
Nice.
So it was, and they had really, even though we'd eaten, it had really good food. They were serving like Texas beef ribs, and they had they had like fired pizza and all kinds of really good food. But instead, we just had a couple drinks. A beer and a vodka was $48.
Was it really?
Yeah. One beer and one vodka was $48.
Holy
God!
So we had a couple of those. And
A couple. I was stopped after one.
You're in Vegas,
$48.
$48. Well, the first time when we had two waters, it was 60 some with it, but.
Jesus.
Yeah, they were pretty proud of their drinks, but nonetheless, it was fine.
Good
For
show,
a guy
though.
that doesn't drink.
Stadium prices
Yeah,
suck.
Little Big Town opened. I was very impressed. Of course, I'm not a music guy. I'm not a concert guy. I was always,
Unless
even
it's
growing
ABBA.
up,
Unless it's ABBA.
That's more musical.
Okay.
That's more of a musical, not a concert.
Okay.
Right? So,
No.
well, you could go to them in concert, but I'm just more of a musical guy.
Sure.
And so I went into this saying, it was all, Sherry wanted to see the concert. Okay, I'm game. I'll go to the concert. So Little Big Town was very entertaining. Plus the two singers were hot.
You're right.
Which helped.
Right.
Yep, very entertaining. I enjoyed it. Chris Stapleton come on next. And this thing, it started at 5:45. I mean, it was a 5-hour concert.
Oh, shit.
Right?
Yeah.
So you do that. And then Chris Stapleton came on. I will tell you, the guy is a great musician. Plays the guitar amazing, and he's a great singer. Not a very good showman. What?
That
he's not a good showman.
Right.
I think it also just depends. No, it just depends on how you like your concerts. I prefer my concerts where I don't feel like I would rather just listen to the music like that instead of getting attacked by a strobe light show and getting blinded.
No, I'm talking about I'm not even talking about a strobe light, whatever. I'm talking about.
I'm saying even the minimal talking. I mean, yeah, connect with the crowd a little bit, but
I'm talking about interaction with the crowd a little bit. I didn't want to hear him sit there and talk to the crowd all night long.
Yeah.
I did not want to hear that. But when he opened up and said, "Hey, I'm here. I'm not here to talk to you tonight. I'm here to play you music, and that's what we're going to do." And he was very upfront about that. But he's got a really smoking hot wife that's his kind of backup singer. And, we had the big Jumbotron. So, and we had really good seats. So we could see the stage very well. But on the Jumbotron, you get very close up. And the whole night, all he does is stare at his wife playing. That's what he does. He stares at his wife playing. And it was fine. It was fine. He had good music, whatever. I just would have liked to seen him interact with the crowd more. Now, when George Strait came on, he is the ultimate showman.
Is he really?
Now, oh my God, he's the ultimate showman. Now, he didn't talk to the crowd the whole time, but he would play 2 or 3 songs, and then he would interact with the crowd. Then he'd play 2 or 3 songs, and he would interact with the crowd. And he made you feel, he was just he kept the crowd very engaged.
Huh.
So if I were to rank them, George was number 1, as my favorite. George was number 1, Little Big Town, and Chris Stapleton would have been my least favorite of that venue.
Right.
Now, a lot of people you could tell would have said Chris Stapleton was the reason they went there.
Yeah, he's got the voice of an angel.
The only thing that Chris Stapleton was good about was the females going up and down the aisle that were dressed for Chris Stapleton. That was very attractive.
I bet. Good scenery. Good scenery.
Super good scenery.
You guys are the worst.
And they were all going up to get a picture of him or something like that.
No, they were just going up to get more wine.
Oh, okay.
More wine and more beer and just.
God, you guys are gross.
But they were.
But overall, great experience. Overall, great experience. I'm taking, I'm going, I've been up since 4:00 in the morning. And so this concert gets over and we leave. There's you could tell it's getting towards the end of the set. And I kind of look towards Sharon. I'm like, we're going to beat the crowd a little bit here or whatever. She goes, well, I really want to hear one more song. And they played whatever song it was. I don't know. And we heard it. She goes, okay, we can go. So we're beating the crowd by 1 song. Well, the crowd started filtering out with 10 songs left. But And you could tell everybody's trying to go meet an Uber, right? Because
Ubers are hard to get post-concert.
There's 30 or 40,000 people trying to get out of Allegiant Stadium in Vegas trying to catch an Uber. Well, they're very efficient with this Uber system. So they've got a parking lot on the north side of the stadium, which is right across the street. that is their Uber rideshare lot. And so you order your Uber, and then when your Uber starts arriving into this lot, they pick a lane and then they text you what lane they're in. And as they pull up in their lane, then you go get in your car and they boom out, and they're moving these things through as, I mean, almost IndyCar style pit stop.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Just as fast you go. Except for when I get there, I hit the Uber and it says, hey, your Uber is going to be there in 5 minutes. I'm like, holy shit, we hit the jackpot. Except for I hit the stupid fucking Uber driver that didn't know how to get into the lot.
Oh, boy.
Because you have to come into the lot a certain way. There's only one way into the lot. And you can even look on the website. It says, here's one way in, one way out of this lot. So I watched my 5 minutes turn into 10 minutes, and I'm watching him, and he's going farther north away, and it goes to 12 minutes. And, you know, mind, it's 40 degrees outside, and we don't have any coats on. And it's cold. And Sherry's cold, but I'm colder, right? I'm like freezing my ass off.
Right.
And so we're sitting there and we're waiting and this waiting. And finally, I'm like, okay, come on, you cocksucker, get back here. And so he starts moving in the right way, and he gets to where he's coming the right way, and he's coming through. And I'm like, hey, you going to make it in the lot? And he goes, yeah, I'm stuck in traffic. And I said, okay, no problem. Waiting here on you. He cancels my trip after waiting about a half hour. Cancels my trip after waiting a half hour. And
he waited a half hour in traffic, or he canceled it right after you sent that message?
Right after I sent the message, he responded back, and then he canceled the trip.
What did he respond back?
He did never responded back.
Okay, so he responded back with canceling your trip. That's because you pissed him off.
No, he responded back, and he said, hey, I'm waiting in traffic. I said, hey, I responded back and said, hey, not a problem.
Oh, you made it sound like you just were like, oh, we're waiting on you.
No, I just wanted to know what the scoop was, if he had made it into the lot or not. So anyway, he canceled the trip. So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. By then, the concert had let out, and another 20,000 people are stacking up. So I get back out on the Uber app. And now you can't even get through on the Uber app. There's so many people requesting. So Sherry's like, what are you going to do? And I said, come on. She said, what are we doing? I said, I'm fucking cold. We're going to walk across the interstate. So they have a pedestrian. They shut down a street, and you can walk about a quarter mile across the street to Mandalay Bay. I said, we're going to go to Mandalay Bay. That was my original plan anyway. Yeah. We're going to go across the street to Mandalay Bay. First, we're going to warm up, and then we'll figure it out from there. So we walked across the street to Mandalay Bay. And we get across there, and, you know, just droves of people. Saw a couple cowboy fights on the way, you know, just drunk people. The rodeo's in town, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we expected we were going to see some of that stuff, and saw some fights on the way. And we get across, and we get into Mandalay Bay and get warmed up and whatever. And then we're going to find an Uber. And we were able to kind of find an Uber out of there. And so, you know, I think we got out of the concert, must have been about 10:30, 10:45, and we made it back to the hotel at 1:30 or something.
Holy shit.
And it wasn't the greatest thing, but, you know, by the time we get back, we hadn't had much to eat. So we had breakfast at 1:00 in the morning.
Right.
First we were going to go get some food, but everything was closed. Well, then the all night place was open. So we went and had a nice breakfast at 1 or 1:30 in the morning. It was fine.
So in Vegas, can you not use one of the other rideshare programs like Lyft, or I think there's another one, but I don't know.
I don't know. You probably could have, but they said it was kind of the Uber lot and kind of whatever. And it was just one of those things that you're standing out there. It's colder than shit.
Oh, no, I know exactly
what you're saying. It's 40 degrees. The wind's blowing. You don't have a coat on.
I know what you're referring to, because even like in Des Moines, it's almost impossible to get an Uber driver ever, because there's such a small number. And if you want to get home from the bars, it's hard if you don't have a driver.
And we were able to get to the Mandalay Bay. We were able to get to it. And I figured it would be crazy, crazy expensive. You know, Mandalay Bay on Saturday night at midnight or 1 in the morning, getting a I mean, it wasn't. It was only a $50 or $60 Uber ride. I didn't think it would be that bad.
Huh.
I figured it'd be $150.
You want to know what's crazy? I've
Right.
paid for a $50 Uber ride from my house to downtown Des Moines, or from downtown Des Moines.
So it wasn't too bad, but we got there and I was only pissed off for a few quick seconds when he canceled the ride, because if I could have found that little turban head, I would have
here
wrung his neck.
That's
I was
not
ready
appropriate.
Par for the course.
So anyway, but overall, good fun weekend.
Nice little weekend away.
Yeah, they wanted us to. Kept getting calls. They wanted us to meet them on Fremont Street on our way back. We were in the Uber, and they're like, "Hey, divert, go to Fremont Street at 1 a.m."
Oh boy!
I'm like, no, I'm not even going to answer this call because they were still out living their best life. Yeah, did eat at a great breakfast place on must have been Thursday morning, I think it was. We went to Fremont Street all day long.
Who did you just say?
A bunch of us went out. We went to Fremont Street and found a neat little breakfast place called Amera Brunch.
Uh-huh.
Kind of a little swanky place, but really high rated stars. I had kind of a veggie skillet.
Ooh.
That was peppers and onions and mushrooms and spinach and whatever with potatoes and whatever. And I added chorizo to it. Had avocados in it. It was like top notch, really good.
Huh. So you guys spent most of the day one day
impressive.
down at Fremont Street?
We did. We just kind of sat there and just kind of in a sports book and just kind of hung out. And we met a professional gambler, befriended a professional gambler, and a professional sports bettor, I should say.
Wow.
Right.
And he starts sending over drink tickets to us. He didn't drink, but he gets all these comp drink tickets. So he just kept sending over drink tickets. And then pretty soon he, because drinks are quite expensive. I mean, most drinks in Vegas now are, $20 a drink in the casino.
Are they really?
Yeah. I mean, just a regular drink is $20. And
Wow.
so he kept sending on, and then pretty soon he goes over to the concierge and he starts sending over hats and shirts and just all kinds of stuff. And he started talking about Iowa, and he's like, "Oh, you're from Iowa." He goes, "It's just like one of my favorite places to travel through." He said he has one kid that lives in Mexico and one that lives in Boston. And he travels a lot. He stays in Vegas, and he spends most of his time in Vegas, and he can only stay in one casino for 28 days at a time, and then he has to move to another casino.
Right.
So
It's like
he
a
goes
law?
back and he has to go back and forth from one to another.
Weird.
But anyway, as he traveled, he said, "I traveled through Iowa in the fall," and he said, "just the cornfields and whatever." He goes, "I just loved it. It was just so serene, and the rolling hills." And he said it was one of his favorite places to travel through. People were so friendly.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we got a picture with him, and he was just, I don't even know what the guy's name was, but he was just everything. He sat in front of those TVs, and he had 2 burner phones going with sports betting. He was just all in. That's all
Was he
did
really?
was sports betting. Yeah,
Huh.
he was crazy. Everybody on that casino was waiting on him hand on foot. Like, man, he was a whale.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'll be damned. So whatever he wanted, he
It was
got.
crazy. Yep, pretty much.
I'll be damned.
Pretty much. So anyway, but successful trip. Got home last night late, and now today is kind of like adjust to time zones and trying to
Sure.
get back to normal.
Right. Or as close to
Fixing
normal as
things
you
that
can
are
get.
broken.
Huh?
Right.
Today's recovery day.
Recovery.
Fix everything that's broke. Everything in the world's broke today. So,
Is it really?
You're hanging out with my mom.
huh?
What was broken at the OC? You were hanging out with my mom.
No, we were testing pies.
Oh.
We were testing pies today, but oh no, we got a slicer that's down. That Hobart's going to take about 5 weeks, and I'm finally like, I just need to find the belt. I can fix it. Normally, Hobart, when we call Hobart, they're normally out in like a day, and they're like, no, we've got 300 service calls down, and we've only got
Jesus.
2 people that handle all this. I'm like, so finally, I'm like, because normally I'm like, just call Hobart. Normally the guy's out, it's just done. And we've been waiting 2 weeks on this slicer part. I'm like, finally, I ran down to 2nd Avenue and I flip up the top. I'm like, it's a stupid belt. I got to find the belt. So I looked up the model number. I just got to get the belt. If I can find the damn belt, I can fix it in 2 minutes.
Right.
It's just a matter of finding the drive belt. Otherwise, I'll go shopping out at I'll just go out to the equipment store and go shopping out there. And when somebody's not looking, I'll steal one.
Or just go to Farm and Home Supply and take the belt in there, and they'll measure it, and you'll be able to get one.
That'd be easy, except for we broke the belt. And you know what happens when we break belts?
What's that?
We throw them in the trash.
Oh. Yes, that would be a
That's what we do when
situation.
we break. We throw them in the trash. We throw the belt. We don't save the belt. We throw them in the trash because it's broken. Why would you need it, Randy?
Right. I guess I wasn't thinking again.
Right. Yeah. Right.
That checks out.
Yeah. And they busted the meat mixer today. I got a 50-pound meat mixer we mix all our sausage with, and they busted that. And they busted the cover off the tenderizer, and the buffalo chopper screwed up. And my GM says, well, I think I'll just get a price on a new buffalo chopper. And I talked to her today. I said, yeah. Why don't you go ahead and get me a price on the new buffalo chopper? And she goes, you snicker when you do that. And I said, yeah, why don't you get a new price? Well, what do you want me to do? And I said, well, don't worry. I've got a used one sitting on a pallet, sitting right here, ready to go. But she's going to shit her pants when she finds out a new price is $20,000.
Yes, she will.
Oh, God.
How much?
Yeah.
How much do you think?
Probably 20. 20, I'm guessing.
That's a lot of dollars.
For a pretty good sized one and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It's
dollars.
amazing. I've looked at some used ones, and it's amazing how expensive they are.
Yeah, and then we got a control board going out on our blast chiller that, I looked up the price of that blast chiller. It's, it cost me, that blast chiller cost me almost $50,000 to put in 13 years ago. I can't imagine what the cost of that thing is now. So,
for the controller
it's the end
board.
of the year. Might as well spend some money.
Yeah.
We'll just figure out how to hotwire.
Well, I guess I don't feel
YouTube it.
Yeah. You don't feel bad?
On YouTube.
I don't feel bad now. I just paid Roto-Rooter $6 1/4, and they got my drains open. So compared to what some of the stuff you got to repair, it's like my $6 1/4 was a drop in the bucket.
Yeah. Yep. That's okay. Sherry, she hasn't started saying yet, but she'll say, hey, you need to spend some money. That'll happen in the next week or so. So I'm just going to get a head start on her.
Yeah, might as well.
Right?
Might as well. So, what else has been going on, Randall? What about you?
Oh, been kind of fairly mediocre busy. Got a bunch of big caterings coming up into this weekend. Got a big catering for a construction company for 300 and ribs and all the sides and meat, 2 proteins and stuff. So luckily my crew is, this is finals week. So a few of them are going to be freed up come Friday. So I got some help. So that's the main thing. So
good.
And we're taking the food truck out Wednesday. I know it's a little cold. It's going to be turn off cold. It couldn't have been like today, but it's going to turn off cold. But
this weekend, oh my goodness,
we're going to be close to the door of the building where we're going to be at, so they can dart in and out. So
yeah,
and you have those pagers, right?
Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that. We could use the pagers and they could just run back in. But honestly, we're not that long anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't take us that long to get food
Well,
out.
yeah,
so.
but maybe a good thing to have on hand.
Just take another person, Randy, and why don't you just go take that order inside and deliver the food to them inside?
Then I can just dart it in and out myself.
Right.
Get your steps in.
That's an idea.
We're full of ideas.
Think about the customer.
Think about the customer. There's one thing you can take away from this podcast. It's consistency and think about the customer.
Exactly.
Think about the customer.
But that's about it. Getting ready for the holidays and stuff. So.
Yeah, holidays. Ooh.
Are you guys gearing up for that?
Evidently not. I got a message today. Hey, are you going to turn back on your online ordering for holiday orders? I'm like, on the website? And I'm like, well, guess I was going to go check that and see. I don't know. Not my department, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It's not that complicated sometimes.
Sometimes you just got to remember to do stuff.
That's
maybe. I don't know. Emma, check it. Can you get in? You're always good at this stuff. Can you get in and order holiday meats? I don't know.
Smoky D's barbecue. Oh, there's the order here button right in front of me. You can.
You can.
Mm-hmm. You can, and it has the set times. Pickup only available between. Yep, you're good.
Guy evidently doesn't know how to run his computer.
Or they turned it on. I mean, when did he tell you that?
About a half hour ago.
Oh, then yeah, he doesn't know how to run his computer.
There you go.
I'm going to have to send him a hyperlink, evidently.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. It was pretty easy to find.
We just didn't.
It says order here in big fat letters. So it's fine.
Oh, you'd be amazed. You'd be amazed at people.
I know.
I got a 3-star rating yesterday on Google because we serve all this. The food is great, the service is great, but can you believe they serve fake margarine spread instead of real butter?
That was a 3-star review?
That's a 3-star. Loved everything except for 3-star because of margarine.
Huh.
People really do complain about everything.
Well, and my response really is, well, if you'd ask, I have real butter. We actually have real butter there. For people that want real butter, we have real butter. I suppose I need to put it on the menu in capital letters that we have real butter, but real butter I have to keep refrigerated according to the health department. The margarine spread I do not.
Oh, that makes sense.
So if I give you real butter with your toast, then you're going to bitch because it's frozen solid and not going to melt. And you're going to have to either put it underneath your armpit or you're going to have to put it underneath your omelet to get it soft enough to spread or violate health code, one or the other. That's why we decided to go with a margarine spread that's spreadable.
That makes sense.
Because if I give you real butter, I can't leave it out. Even though you and I both know we could leave it out. But according to the health department, you can't leave it out. Can't leave butter out. I can leave margarine out because it's oil, but I can't leave butter out.
That makes sense. Well.
So, unfortunately, Guy, sorry. And we had people bringing their own butter in. It's fine. I have butter. I have it right here. I'd be glad to provide you butter.
People bring their own butter in?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a big deal, Randy.
Jesus Christ.
People are crazy.
People are crazy.
I'd have never thought of that.
Yeah. I don't think much of it. I mean, I think of it. I mean, and I've thought long and hard about serving real butter, but the advantage of there's first a cost advantage of it, but that the cost wasn't the deciding factor. The spreadability of it was the deciding factor. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bring their own butter. I've never heard of that shit.
But also, like, I'm not surprised. People do a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah. What do you do?
What do you do?
Oh yeah, people are finding they're navigating their way around the menu. We found a one menu item that people can do a build your own and build it cheaper than another. So now the waitresses have all figured out how to navigate the customer instead of just ordering this menu item. Now they've figured out a way to, hey, if you order as a build your own, it'll be $1 cheaper doing it that way. Okay, get them all accustomed to that because I'm just going to go raise the price on that. And now they're going to go, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Can't outstart the master.
And sometimes I just don't understand waitresses of you try and figure out how to get your customer something $1 cheaper when your tip is based upon the total dollar amount.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. I just don't quite understand that. But
yeah, that's a tough one.
To each their own, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one thing, we had the first annual Twyford Barbecue Christmas party Friday night.
Wow.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, everybody had a good time. Very good time.
Where'd you go? Where'd you
Little
go?
Mexico. Mexican restaurant.
Is that? Oh yeah.
I thought you were going to say a Chinese restaurant.
I started to.
That's something that's all out of whack there.
Did you provide alcohol?
Massive amounts of it.
You did.
Nice. You're a fun boss.
When I got there, when I got to the waiter came over and I said, listen, there's 10 of us. And I
Keep
said,
them coming.
we're going to drink, we're going to be drinking margaritas, and the waiters make the margaritas. They don't have a bartender that does that. And I give him a little incentive, and I said, keep them coming and keep them good. Si, senor.
Oh.
Si.
Who was driving?
Marla drove home. Because I got in a contest of chugging margaritas with the guys.
So how'd you feel the next morning?
You know what? I felt pretty good. I didn't feel bad at all.
Really?
You're like a giant man child. And I love it so much.
What?
You're like a man child, and it's just funny.
Oh, I had a great time. I was a little pissed, though.
That's all that matters.
I was kind of hoping that they were going to ask me to go out with them afterwards. They were going to go to some of the bars there in town, and I was hoping they would ask me to go with them, but they didn't. It pissed me off.
And they didn't?
No.
Well,
I hinted around a little bit, and they're like, well, how are you going to get home? And I said, don't worry about me getting home. I'll get home. Or I'll just stay at your place.
that you ruined it.
So, but anyway, good time was had by all.
What was the final bill?
$275.
Are you shitting me?
No.
$275.
And I don't know how many pitchers of margaritas we drank.
Wow.
We had strawberry.
And we had 5 of us. We had 5 of us go out to dinner to a steakhouse in Vegas.
Right.
5 of us. We had 1 bottle of wine. 1 bottle of wine and 1 drink. 1 bottle of wine and 1 drink. And our bill was $650 with no tip added.
Right. Well, my bill was with no tip added. gave him an extra tip. So
$275.
you can't imagine how many pictures. I mean, somebody go, don't they have good watermelon ones here? I'd go, bring us a watermelon. Bring us a pitcher of watermelon margaritas. We drank watermelon, strawberry, plain, a couple other different kinds.
Wow. See,
oh,
senor.
God, I love it so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Good time was had by all. That's
one thing that we've only ever done once. Our first year ever when we moved, we used to have a little get together in our original location. I think we were there 3 years. And every Christmas Eve we used to just sit around the table back in the kitchen and we had a little Christmas party. We just have free food and eat manhandlers or whatever it was. It was just kind of a joke. But there was only 5 employees back then. And then the first year we had kind of a Christmas party at 2nd Avenue. Our first year must have been 2010 when we moved down there. And we had a good time, but it's like when you have 100 employees, there's no way.
No.
There's
no,
just
you
no
just
way.
you just bring breakfast Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Call it a
So
party.
I always make breakfast now. Hey, now I got a breakfast restaurant. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Now I don't even have to cook it. Now I just cater it in.
Right.
Well, now the crew is saying that we should have a going away party before they all graduate.
Well, that would be nice.
Just say no.
No,
I
don't
won't.
say no. Treat them to a going away party. Be nice. You'll be the boss they remember.
Oh, don't worry. He's hard to forget.
Yeah, that's right.
Also true.
One of them made the comment, said, I've worked for a couple different guys, but nobody's been out drinking with us. I'm like, there you go. Just remember old Randy.
There you go.
So, Emma, tell us about your experience. I hear you went to, was it Career Day or whatever at the old alma mater?
I did speak at a career fair, yes, on Friday about graphic design at my old high school.
And I heard you had kind of a hard time comprehending that you were speaking to a group that was in kindergarten when you were graduating.
Yep, I was struggling with the age difference there. It has been almost 8 years. Yeah, it'll be 8 years, I think. No, yeah, it'll be 8 years in May since I've graduated. That was really hard for me to grasp. And yeah, the seniors were in 3rd grade and the freshmen were in kindergarten when I left. And that was not something I wanted to hear.
It wasn't?
No. I will say what made me feel a lot better is that a lot of my teachers are still there, so I didn't feel as old as I was, which was nice, I guess, because I knew so many people there. It's like I was just there, but
so did you talk about the benefits of working from home? And
yeah, of course I did. I think that was one of the reasons they had me there.
I saw I see Elon Musk blew that totally out of the water today. He put something out on X about, I didn't get a chance to read it yet, but
About what?
About blowing away the work from home.
Like stop doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to change at our company, so I'm not really worried about what Elon Musk does.
Till your boss gets a hold of it.
No, I'm not worried about it. They've been working from home even before the pandemic. Been doing this a long time. But yeah, no, I told them about that and about how I get to wear sweatpants all day, every day, and I hang out with my dog, and all's good in the world. I don't know. I'm living a good life, so it was kind of nice to talk about it, I guess. I enjoy it. Can't complain. It was weird I have a new respect for teachers because a lot of the things I talked about in my presentation were questions I got asked. Like I had the exact answers in the presentation, and then I got asked those questions. Like, oh, what's your salary? And I had like a whole slide on salary. And I was like, let me just repeat myself.
Just pay attention.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I was like, I don't know. That, and I had to do the same presentation 3 times because there were 3 different sessions, like breakout sessions. And repeating myself that many times, I was like, I don't know how elementary teachers do this. Shit sucks. I get bored. I got bored. I was like, I can't listen to myself say the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But I mean, I got bored of hearing myself say it. It was still fun. It was a cool experience. Yeah, I was happy to help, and I got to make a cool presentation, I guess.
They're always wanting me to do that stuff.
It's really not that bad. It was kind of, I mean, I went into it pretty nervous, jacked up, but by the time I got done with the first presentation, I was fine. I mean, the first presentation probably wouldn't even have been that bad, but my dad decided that was the one he wanted to come to and watch, which just added pressure. I started sweating. But other than that, it was fine. It was fine.
You started sweating because your dad was there?
Yeah, like, it's just intimidating. I could go days without talking to anybody. So I was public speaking, and I was like, this is terrible. Dad, go away. This is not good. Not the first one. Let me at least get, like, used to talking to these people first.
I could go days without speaking to anybody.
I can. Like, there's been weeks where Twyla would be the only person I talk to. Which might make me a little crazy, but it's fine. It's fine. It's gotten a lot better since... Randy, don't look at me like that. It's gotten a lot better since, I've gotten a boyfriend. I have to get out of the house at least once. But it's fine. It's fine.
I'm just trying to think if I want her teaching high school kids that it's okay to lay at home in your sweatpants.
Well, I mean, I'm not laying around. I'm still working. I had proof of my work. I was like, yeah, I do this. I just do it in comfortable clothes. I had to wear, like, slacks. I had to look professional. That shit sucked. I was like, I don't like pants without an elastic band in them anymore. I don't wear pants without an elastic band most of the time. So, yeah, it's fine. I'm in pajamas right now. Who cares?
Huh.
It's
amazing.
Fine. It's a good life. And I'm productive. So.
Yep.
Comfort is key.
Then there's, I guess there's me that I can't sit in an office long enough to get anything done.
Yeah. Everybody's different.
Wow. Everybody's different.
Yeah. So I did that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Sherry asked me the other day, she goes, what are you looking, we're going to Florida in December right after Christmas. And she says, what are you looking most forward to in Florida? And I said, I kind of made a mistake.
Oh boy.
I said,
I know where this is going.
Most forward to. I said, I am so looking forward to just being able to sit on my computer for like 5 or 6 hours a day and just kind of work on the system, instead of being kind of running around working in the system. I'm just kind of looking forward to being able to spend 5 or 6 hours a day analyzing stuff, analyzing the business and whatever. And she goes, oh, I thought maybe you'd kind of say you're looking forward to just kind of hanging out with me and getting away from it all. I'm like, oh, well, I can do that.
I can do that too.
I can do that like at 3 or 4 in the afternoon. That'd be fine.
Yeah. Like just half the day, but yeah, totally. You got my evenings.
Oh, sorry. Oops.
Come on, man. Rookie mistake.
You actually think I'm going to go on vacation? Wrong.
Incorrect.
Sorry,
she doesn't even know you.
Yeah.
But
sorry, honey.
Anyway, now it's time for everybody's favorite segment. Randall, do you have an acronym?
Randy, you can tell she's got a date. You can tell she's got a date.
Well, we're almost to an hour.
I don't have an
What?
I've been
Randy,
tied up this afternoon.
We gave you one segment. You have one job on this podcast.
One extra day.
And an extra hour almost. Well, 30 minutes. But...
That's shaming.
Wow. Okay, well, good thing Mom gave me one a couple weeks ago, just in case this ever happened.
So in the non-Randy segment, acronym of the day, now we have the Amanda acronym of the day.
I think we'll like this one. Randy's going to try to take it, too. DFFA. Anybody got a guess? Don't fiddle fuck around.
There you go.
Don't fiddle fuck around.
Don't fiddle fuck around. DFFA.
I think we made Randy mad.
No.
That's his saying. Mom took
took
his words and made it an acronym.
I'm flattered that somebody would take some of my documentation and make a acronym out of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys got anything else?
Obviously not.
Did we teach it? Did we teach anybody
I don't
anything?
want to DFFA anymore. I don't want. I'm just hungry. I want to go make dinner.
What are you gonna have?
Garlic butter chicken and Parmesan pasta. It's a Pinterest recipe I found this morning.
It sounds good.
That's craving.
Pinterest. I need to find a vegetable to have tonight. I'm having grilled pork chops since it's so beautiful outside.
Asparagus.
Asparagus has been horrible lately.
Zucchini.
It's so weedy. Sherry won't eat zucchini.
Green peppers.
Green peppers suck.
Broccoli.
I think what I'll do is I'll go get some momofuku noodles to make Sherry happy. And then I'll get myself some other vegetable or something. I don't know.
Well, best of luck with that. If you, what? We're almost at an hour. You guys act like this isn't normal.
She's rushing us, Randy.
I know.
Well, what else? Do you guys have anything else to talk about?
Do you think she's going to get this released? Do you think she's going to get this released in the morning?
Yeah, Lane wants to play Call of Duty tonight, so I have so much time.
So is that a no?
Yes, it'll get done while he's playing video games. God,
she's going to be staring there going, "Hi, honey. Are you done playing Call of Duty?"
No, that's not what we do. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I actually hate that. The fact that you... no.
How was that again, Darren?
I don't give him...
How was that again?
Hi, honey.
Why are my hands like this? I don't praise him. He's not God. He's just a guy. Oh,
Anybody see my testicle festival? Amanda decorated last minute so I could have a parrot on my shoulder, evidently.
Arg. All right.
Arg. Okay.
We'll
let you go. Let's go.
All right. If you haven't already, follow us on social media at Cue the Mic Pod, or find us on YouTube at Cue the Mic Podcast so you can watch this shit show. Yeah, that's all I got. Randy?
Boom. Out of here, finished, done, over with.
Man, that was lame.
Yeah, that
Can
was
we do
bad.
a retake on that, Randy? Attaboy. That's what we were looking for.
No
more fuckery.
DFFA. DFFA. All right.
That's better. Boom.
All right.
We're out of here.
Boom.
We'll see you guys next week.